All right, welcome to your flipped notes on rock classification. We are going to be taking notes on just the first section, rock classification 4-1 on the sheet that you received in class, and then we will finish igneous rocks 4-2 in class tomorrow, so be sure and bring this with you. All right, let's get started with rock classification. Rocks are divided into three main classes, and these classes are based on how the rocks, form. Now, I know you already know about these three main types of rock classification, so just to review, they are igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Now, while I'm pausing, you make sure that you have all of this information written down on your sheet before I move on. Now, each type of rock can be further classified based on composition and texture. Remember, composition means what the rock forms from. And we're going to discuss texture in many different ways during this rock chapter. So composition. Composition is the chemical makeup of the rock, or what it is made of. So it's the stuff that's in the rock. This can be minerals or other materials, such as shells, clay, plants, sand, pebbles are some of the other materials that make up rocks. Now we're going to move on to texture. Now, many of you may think of texture as how something feels, but with rocks, it's a little bit different because texture is determined by the grains, size, shape, and position. Now, the grain is the individual thing that makes up the rock. For instance, in an igneous rock, the grains are minerals. So we're going to be looking at the size of those grains. They're small, big, or large, or tiny, microscopic. What shape that they're in. We talked about the shape of minerals already. And the position, how they are lined up. Do they make a pattern? Do they cause the rock to be flat? What is their position? Now here's some of the ways that we're going to describe texture. An igneous rock can be fine grained or coarse grained. Fine would be small, coarse would be large. Sedimentary rocks are classified as fine, medium, or coarse grain. Metamorphic rocks are fine or coarse grain. Now, texture is important. Not only does it help us determine the size, but also texture can reveal the process that formed it, the rock. What kind of things happen to these grains to create the kind of rock that we're looking at or that we're examining to determine its type? Now check and make sure that you have all of these words on your note sheet. All right, great job. You guys rock. Now you need to have these notes in class tomorrow, and we'll continue on with information on igneous rocks. Have a good night.